All right, so here we go. We are here today for the awards webinar. We're going to show you how to use the awards portal and just go through some tips and tricks to creating an award-winning entry. So we're gonna do this very casually, as we said. And sorry, let me get to the right screen. Here we are. So when you go to, let's start with the web page here. So this is the Pro website, promidatlantic.org. And on here, you can come under the awards tab and go down to enter the 2024-25 awards because it's a season. So DC's actual awards will be in February 2025. Central Virginia's will be in 2024. So if you click on that, it brings you to this page that has pretty much everything you need. Our entry forms for CVA. DC's entry forms will be up closer to when their program opens, but it's very similar. So we'll go through the CVA ones today. And then the only thing that'll be a little different are the different levels of categories because DC has like 50 some categories. Central Virginia has 22 this year, which is up from last year. So this link right here, if you click there, start your entry now, it will actually bring you to this home page for the program. If you do not have a login, you can, like I have already logged in, so I have one, but if you do not, there will be a thing here that gives you a chance to create it. So you would go through the register process. If you have any trouble, just let me know. And after this, I'll make sure everybody has my phone number. I actually might even just put it up here for a while, just so everybody can get it. So let me log in and see if I should have done this prior to I think it has my password saved, because I don't remember anything. There we go. These computers, love it. Okay, so we're here, and this is what you'll see when you first come over, and you just click the Start Entry button. So our first part, we're just going to walk step by step through the portal. If you have any questions, let me know. So you're entering the Pro Remodeler of the Year awards. Then you have to come and choose your region. Each of the Pro affiliates has a program. So if you're in Central Virginia, you're going to click here. Metro DC will click here. We're going to go through Central Virginia's because since that program is open, that portal is completely ready to go. So then the next thing you're going to do is come and you're going to choose your category. Each of the categories are listed here, and when you click on one, it will give you more information about the information on that category, any rules or things that are excluded, etc. Okay, so we're just choosing residential. Actually, I want to do something more exciting than that. We'll do a kitchen, and our kitchen's over 200,000. Super exciting. Okay. Here we want you to put your name and company. Your name, if you're the person who you want us to contact if there's an issue with the entry, okay? Not the primary contact at the company, not like Edward for Lane Homes. So your name and company. Here you're agreeing that you have read and reviewed the rules and guidelines. And then here we want you to put the project cost. The project cost is everything. If the homeowner provides appliances, we want you to estimate the cost of that. The only thing that is not included in project cost are the design fees. And that is because we had design build firms and then firms that were not design build. They were doing their project cost, and one was doing it without the design fees and one was doing it with. So we just decided to level the playing field and not include design fees. So please break those out. And then we like this little short phrase, sometimes we get something cool from the contractor that tells us a little snippet about that project. And sometimes that's picked up by the magazine. They like how you've described it. One year it was silly. It was like Tale of Two Toothbrushes. And I was like, what? And it was this bathroom remodel where the husband and wife had totally different needs for their sides of the bathroom. So it was silly, but another project was a traditional ranch with a Frank Lloyd Wright facelift. So be creative there. Think of something that it can be up to 12 words, but a short phrase that kind of captures the essence of that project. Any questions on this first tab? All right. Awkward wait time going.
Actually,
Okay.
I had a quick question. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
So, on our contract a lot, it'll say, let's say the project's 100,000. That would include labor and then the materials we're providing.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
customer then provides other materials, so I should be going off the running total with the customer provided materials as well.
Yes,
Okay,
yes. Everything like it talks about in-kind services provided, fair market value for materials, anything there, markup and stuff is included. The only thing not included is those design fees, okay?
perfect.
And
Great.
this,
Thank you.
it's not letting me go past this page without some key things, so we'll just keep doing this. Yeah, I'm not, my creative juices aren't flowing clearly. All right, again, here, I know you've done your company name before, but this is where we want it. What do you want printed on your awards? In a magazine, what do you want printed? So we want you to do anything that you would normally do. If you want the LLC, put it in. If you want something all caps, make sure it's done correctly, okay? And then address here, I'm just gonna type things in just to get to the next section. Primary contact, again, that is the person we would contact to get information on this project, okay? And then an email address. And then phone number, again, for that person that we would contact. We like to tag you and post things on Facebook. So taking a few minutes to fill this out ensures that our marketing team will have the correct channel for you. And when we're advertising projects in the beginning, like before the awards entries, we do a lot to showcase the projects that have been entered. And then we do a lot after the fact to showcase our winners. So putting that in here is very helpful. Let's see if it lets us go to the next tab. This next tab, the project summary. Any questions on this one? It's pretty self-explanatory, but okay, project summary. This is 100 words or less to describe the project. Again, if there was a magazine article on your project, what would you want it to say? This is not seen by the judges, so you can mention things that might give away the identity of your company. You can give away things like sometimes if there's a designer who is part of this or an architect or whatever, you could literally share that in this 100 words or less. Like, so think about this as if you were writing an editorial or something on the project. What would you want to see? We also use this in our script in Central Virginia. DC's program is so long, they may use a snippet here and there, but in Central Virginia, we use a lot of this when we're identifying the winner in the awards program in our script. All right, project entry presentation. This is critical. This is the most important thing you need to know in the whole thing. You are going to create your PDF presentation. I recommend using something like PowerPoint or Canva. If you have any questions or needs there, please reach out to me directly and I can show you some samples of projects if you don't have access to that through your company. But this is a PDF format and it is the only thing seen by our judges. They don't see anything else that you're sharing here. The rest of this is for internal use. So you're going to save your project in a cloud storage location like Google Drive or Dropbox. When you save it there, you have to get a link for it that is not restricted. okay? And that link cannot identify your company. So you may put that it's a Pro Awards Project entry kitchen, but don't put it's a Lane Homes project kitchen. Does that make sense? Because the judges will see the link and they'll identify the company. So again, you're going to store your PDF that you create in a cloud storage thing, and then here you're putting the link, and that is the only thing that the judges will have access to. And again, you want to make that link unrestricted and so that they don't have to request access. And if you need help with that, again, Debbie and I are here. All right. Then we get into our forms and releases. Okay. So for your pictures, if your company owns those and someone from your company has taken them, you sign that form and give us permission to use those photos. If you used a professional photographer, you have to get them to sign it. So each form is available over here. So you could click this link, hold down the form, do everything you need to, save it, and then you'll upload it here, okay? If you want to get past this step, to just kind of get it in there, like I've had people who are like, I can't get the photographer until, this date. It's okay. You could upload a blank form and then go back. And when we get the entries, Debbie and I go in and check and make sure everything's signed off on, okay? Then you're going to put the photographer's information and contact information here in case sometimes we have a photographer who might X out a part of the form, and we can call and get a better understanding of what they mean. Like maybe they only want it used for the program itself, but not for future pro marketing, etc. Okay. Then the homeowner's release, I'm going to go ahead and click this so you can see it. This is very important. It's just the homeowner giving us the information that, agreeing to this. It's kind of like an affidavit sort of thing. You're putting the project completion date and the total project cost here. Again, it will have to match the category. And then again, you'll upload it. If the project is in the universal design category, you will click here, and that will allow you to have a place to upload this universal design checklist. The checklist is an Excel sheet, and anything that you do that would be universal design, you would just list in there. So there's one category that is just universal design projects, and you have to have this sheet if you're doing it. If you're not, you'll click no and that just move along. And then here, team partners. I'm going to take a minute to explain our whole team partner program. And for you, let's see, Fiona, you guys are unique in that you can serve as the primary entrant or as a team partner on another entrant, okay? So for example, if you are doing a home automation project and you've had direct oversight of the project, you can enter as the primary entrant into that home automation category. But say, for example, Lane Homes, it has an entire house and they've used you for the automation piece, then they can pull you in as a team partner. Okay, so think about those member companies that you're working with and whether or not it's appropriate for you to be the primary entrant or to be the team partner. Either way, you get the same recognition. It's just basically who had primary oversight of the project. Okay.
Gotcha.
So if you have team partners, what's cool about that is there's a form. If you say yes, oh, something's happened here, it's not bringing up the form. So I will make note of that. The team partner form isn't a drop down like it's supposed to be. So there's a form that you will fill out, and that will allow, well, here's the form, but there's supposed to be a drop down that allows you to upload it. So we'll figure out what's going on there. This form allows you to indicate any of the information about those team partners. And if you need additional ones, you just print the second page again. So team partners, this year for every team partner you have, you get a $25 pro credit. So for custom kitchens, if you had like 5 team partners, that's $125 toward, you could use toward gala tickets or some other pro event. So it's very helpful. And just a little incentive to get you thinking about and taking the time to give us this information because I know you're busy. So that's there. And then we get over any questions about this page.
Do you have to, like, if we use, let's say, TW Perry for some of the doors and windows, would I have to say, yes, we used a pro?
No, that is
Okay,
up to that is up to you. If you want to include them, you say yes. And if you want us to be the one to reach out to them and to handle it, you don't pay. They have a separate entry fee. They're kind of treated separately, even though they're attached to your project. So the only thing I would say is that it's great to have that feel good moment. Like think about TW Perry or Ferguson or some of these other companies, these larger companies, when they win, they advertise they won with you on social media. It's just a really nice, cross promotion. Does that make
got
sense?
it. Yes, and one more question, sorry. For the homeowners release, can that be signed digitally or does it have to be in person?
If you have a system where you can get it signed digitally, yes, you can.
Like
We totally.
DocuSign? Okay, perfect.
DocuSign is perfect. I don't have that, but yes, we accept that. Okay. Any other questions? Those are good. All right, so now this is also, remember I said the only thing the judges see is that PDF. This is for our use in our magazines that publish it. So in DC Home and Design Magazine and in Richmond, Richmond Magazine and Our Home. So we want good quality photos here. So we want the newest company logo or the company logo you want us to use when advertising your company for the awards program. Your best after photo, we like to call this the wow shot. Like what would you think would be the shot that would be covered in a magazine, kind of the best shot of the project? And this is can be horizontal or vertical. And we love for you to have a before photo from the same angle that we can use, but you don't have to, okay? But the wow shot. And then these short codes over here, we like you to save your pictures with this. It just helps us keep them organized so that when a magazine is like, hey, we want the verticals, we can pull them all out and send them the verticals. So your best vertical photo, if for some reason you don't have one, you can turn a horizontal photo, pick the best vertical section of it and upload that. Here we have a before and after combined. What I recommend is that you go on to like a Canva or you go on to PowerPoint and you drag those two photos in somehow. You can have a smaller before and a bigger after. You can have them side by side, however you want to do it. But we just want it to be on like a 16:9 presentation slide. And that helps us. We have this scroll thing that happens during the dinner at the gala that allows us to show all the cool before and after photos of the project. So, and it's great to be in a room full of professionals and somebody sees a before and after and they're like, whoa, it's very cool. All right, best horizontal with your logo embedded somewhere on the shot also helps with that slideshow program. And then a before photo. Those are all the required things that you're supposed to have. If you don't have a before photo, sometimes the homeowners might have something you can use. And even if there's a person in there, you can often blur them out. So, but again, these aren't seen by the judges, so we're not too worried about that. If you have additional photos that you want to share for a higher likelihood of being picked up by a magazine, then you can choose how many additional photos you're loading. And when you do that, this drop down appears and allows you to load them. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. Any questions on the entry portal? Because once you get to this step, you're done and you submit the entry. If you've missed anything, it will redirect you to highlighted spaces. Like, so you can see where I've missed things here and I can go back and it highlights it for me. Okay. But the nice thing about this is that you can, kind of save it and come back to it later, you know? So you can save and close without submitting. The other thing I would tell you, for those of you who are entering more than one project, I would do this tab, and then you can come back to this main thing and you can say, I want to copy this, and that it will make a copy of it for you. Did it do it? I want to copy that. Okay. Now, once it copies this, I can go into this copy and I can say, okay, now this project is not a kitchen, it's an addition. And that saves you the time of going in and manually entering all that information again. Any questions on that? Okay, so I highly
Um,
recommend the copy feature. Yes, sir.
I have a question regarding if you're submitting two projects in the same category. You talked about the short codes at the end. Did
Mhm.
you want did you want like one of them to have like a two on the end, or just keep them both the same?
I think it would be good to differentiate those if you don't mind. And you can do that however you want, like an A or a B or a one and or two. And that way it'll help Kate, who's our marketing person, to know, okay, that's a Lane Homes project. And we make sure we get the right one in the slideshow and stuff. I have accidentally gotten the wrong project in a slideshow before. Not fun.
Okay.
Um, so then if you do that copy too, just come change it'll say your name and company and the copy was right there. You can change that and take it out. And then just come in and change the things that are specific to that first project that you did. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Any other questions before we move on to forms and categories? Okay, so again, if I am on this page, on the award, so hold on, let me go back to one other thing. So if I come over here and I go to this page here, um, let's see if I can get back to that home page. When you first came on to this, I don't know if it will let me get back there. Um, they that th- there's a link to all of the forms, okay, in the awards portal. So from that very first page, you can find a link and it'll take you to this drive folder where everything is stored, okay? If not, you can go to the website and get it. And then as you saw in some of the fields, like the homeowner form is there, the photographer form, the team partner form. So just know that those are there, and there's many ways to access them, okay? So again, here are the entry forms for the Central Virginia program. And when the DC program opens, your forms will be right here, okay? But really, you can get to pretty much all of them in the portal. I don't want to switch. Okay, so here are all the forms that you will need for the Central Virginia things. Okay, here's the awards, photographer's release, judges instructions. Why do we put that in here? Well, what I like to do is take a look at the judges. Actually, is it the judges instructions or the judges criteria? Let's see. We'll come back to that. I don't know why it's not letting me just open that from here. Here are, what is happening? I'm frozen. Let me go to a different thing here. Sorry, gang. I'm going to come over to a different site and I'm just going to make sure that these, I don't know why this is doing this, but this is the one you need. Yeah, nothing's working for me here. Sorry. Let's see. I'm going to go to a different browser and we'll try to go from there. Sometimes technology likes to mess with me. Let's go here. Okay, so we'll start here. Here's the complete category list and a little cheat sheet for short codes. If your short code isn't exact to this, as long as it tells us what it is, like it could be interior under 150. It doesn't have to be this exact short code. We just gave examples just so it'd be easier for our person to sort them and organize them. Okay, so in Central Virginia, here are your categories. Samantha, in DC, you have like double this many. There's a lot more price points, a lot more categories, okay? So this year we changed a few things. Residential interior, we upped the price point based on feedback from members and based on the number of entries and the different things. So and inflation. So it's gone up to, instead of 100, it's above and below 150. Interior, exterior element. This is an under entered category. We don't get a lot of entries in it. But what's cool about this is that you can take maybe a beautiful addition that you've done, and maybe there was a gorgeous fireplace, or I've seen a mosaic made out of tile. I've seen some intricate floor work, you know, where they've done a cool pattern in the wood flooring. It can be like a outdoor water feature or something like that. So a lot of people have these, and it's a very easy category to enter because it's a simple process. You're not describing a whole project. You're just showcasing this one feature, whether it's interior or exterior. Residential kitchen, we have 3 categories in, I think, both DC and Central Virginia, but the price points may be a little different due to the market rate in DC. So kitchen under 100, 100 to 2, and over 2. We adjusted that from 75 to 100 in Central Virginia. All right. The kitchen, let's look at some of this real quick. If there's an adjacent, say it's a mudroom or a family room, dining room, that has to be entered into residential interior. The kitchen can only be the kitchen. Any adjacent space attached, even if it's a powder room, needs to be in the residential interior category. Does that make sense to everybody? So it's just the kitchen that we're focused on for these categories. Residential bath, we have 3 categories this year: under 50, 50 to 100, and over 50 in DC. I mean, in Central Virginia. I'm not exactly sure what Central Virginia's are, but they're still finalizing those categories because that program isn't open. Anyway, so again, bathroom projects that include remodeling of an adjacent space, such as a dressing area, a closet, makeup room, again, that has to be an interior category. It can only be the bathroom for the bathroom categories, okay? Entire house. Entire house is exactly that. You've done like several rooms in a home to renovate those into the existing space. You could have even added an addition to it, whatever you're doing, but just read each one of these carefully, okay? Like for example here, where multiple additions and or style changes in footprint or elevation have been made in more than one location, okay? That's entire house, all right? Substantial portion of the house. New custom home, we added this a couple years ago, and basically we haven't had many entries in that. So if you're a new custom home builder, this would be a great category for you because most of our members are remodelers. Accessory dwelling units, those would have to be entered as a residential detached structure, not in a new custom home, okay? But say you did a new custom home that had the detached structure, you could enter in both categories. You could enter the home portion and then the detached structure. You just have to have separate entries. Residential addition, you know, is not limited to additions, add levels or attic build outs, which increases the livable space of the existing home. Okay, so this is those additions, and you can use interior and exterior photos here to showcase the work on both inside and outside. Detached structure. These are your garages, your pool houses, studios, ADUs. So that's a fun category, and we've started seeing more of those here in Richmond and DC. So it's a fun category. Residential exterior in DC, I know there's multiple levels of this. In Central Virginia, we don't get a lot of exterior projects, so there's only one price point here. Any price point, no price point really. All right, and those are things like, let's see here. Be sure to read this one carefully because some things are not allowed in this category and they would need to be in the detached structure. So just read that one carefully. And if you have any questions about it, reach out to me. Commercial renovation in DC, they have an interior and an exterior renovation project. Again, we don't get a lot of commercial projects. If for some chance we did get a lot, we might judge them separately and break that category up in a season. So any commercial projects are welcome. Home automation, entertainment, and media. Samantha, this is your category, lady. Any of those smart technology integrations, we don't get a lot of projects in this category. It's starting to grow and become more popular. Last year, we did have a $3 million project in this category. It was crazy. Creative solutions. This is any of those things where you've taken a space, maybe it's under a staircase, and you've made it more of a storage. Creative solutions can be anything like where people were taking the garage and turning it into more of a livable space, of entertaining space, a workout space during COVID, so we are seeing a lot more of these. A closet, a beautiful organized closet could be a creative solution. Residential landscape design and outdoor living in DC, they have price points for this. Here, we don't get a ton of them. Again, if we do get a lot of them, we may break it up into 2 categories for this season. But all of those beautiful outdoor landscaping, pools, spas, patios, all of that would be great here. Historic renovation and restoration. The project has to be built at least 75 years ago. And then you really want to show how you're tying in the existing architecture and design to the new architecture and design, okay, and how you've renovated that. And then again, universal design projects, it has that separate form that you would need. And those are any of those living in place modifications that you've made to a home to, help people stay in it longer. And then this category is judged by universal design professionals. So they'll be more aware of those requirements. Any questions on the categories? Okay. Let's see here. The other form that I recommend you pay close attention to is this first. Wait, is this the homeowners? Nope, that's photographers. I'm looking for the entry guidelines because it has a lot of great stuff for you. Where are those? There they are. This is to me the most important form. It gives you tips for a successful entry. It gives you all the deadlines and fees. It gives you some do's and don'ts for your presentation. So Jennifer, to me, this is something you really want to focus on. So as you're doing your presentation, you'll see these rules down here again, but we broke them out up here just because we want to make sure that there are certain things you can and cannot do. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
All the rules and guidelines are here. My cell phone is here. So if you're working on this and you have a question, you can text or call me. I like to call myself the awards hotline. Anyway, so all of this is here, and photo tips are down here also to help you get the best shots. And then what I love about this form too, the judging questions are down here. So to what degree were the express needs of the client met? Did the entry describe the client's needs and desires? Did the entry show that those were met? A lot of times when you're doing a presentation, you might focus on you as a builder and a remodeler. What we want to hear is this is what the client, how they envisioned the space, and this is how we made that dream come true and we transformed the space. So focus on the client's needs and what you did in every slide if you can, okay? And then did you solve, overcome, or address any special circumstances in a unique or innovative or creative way? Difficult site conditions, anything there. every project has those unique things that you're trying to deal with. And even if it's kind of a common one, you can put it in, like just give the judges more reasons to give you points here. Okay. How did the project improve the space, functionality, aesthetics, livability, usability, etc.? Give as many of those as you can too. Focus on that. Focus on the flow or the aesthetic improvements, the functionality improvements. And then overall impression of the project. This gives the judges a little more creative license to be subjective in judging. So think about ways and highlight those. I love projects where they have the wow shot in the presentation and they have like the before picture and the after picture right on the same slide for the judges to see, man, this is what it looked like and this is what they did. But then also some detailed shots, maybe if there's millwork that's beautiful or tile work or something like that, have some of those shots in there to give them a chance to give you these craftsmanship and workmanship points. Does that make sense? Like I love the fancy organizational things where you've done a bathroom and you pull out the drawer and there's all that great, storage and things like that. And then for the historic, this is again trying to show how you tied in the original materials or look of the house. So that is only for historic projects. Any questions on forms? Okay, let's see. I'm going to stop sharing and we're going to talk a little bit about just best practices for tips and tricks. So Cooper, I'm going to put you on the hot seat. Anything that you can think of that has really helped your entries tell the story, or any lessons you've learned in, the first 2 years of doing these projects?
I think, like Angela said, I think one of the main important things is focusing on what the client needs. That's really important. I think some of the times, for example, when I'm talking with design consultants to try to get the information from them, using a starting point of what the client wants, and then using that and trying to using that as a way to get to all the things that we want to talk about, because sometimes throughout the course of the project we forget some of the small things that have happened. But if we try to remember what the client was looking for in the first place, that can kind of build out the information, and it doesn't seem like such a daunting task to try to fill out all the information. That's the main thing. And then I guess the other thing is trying to keep everything organized, like trying to make sure if you're having multiple submissions, trying to keep everything separate and together. That's the biggest things that I've learned.
Cool. I want to show Cooper or let's see, hold on one second. I would love to show a couple projects from last year. Jennifer and Cooper, would you mind if I pulled up one of your projects just to show some PowerPoint tips? I don't feel
Not at
obligated.
all.
Okay.
Sure.
So I'm going to go back to sharing and I'm coming over here and then I'm going to go into entries and I'm going to go back to archived season. So let's go back to last season. What's great about this platform too is we can have historical data. So this year we had a company reach out to us who was like, I really need help with blank. And pulling these entries and knowing what we've done, blah, 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 and for marketing purposes for their portfolio. So we were able to pull that for them. Cooper, what was one of your fun projects last year? I see a landscape, a kitchen, addition, any one that you really liked? Well, this is fun. Entire house. Can we do the entire house?
The entire house one is a good one.
Okay, let's do it. That's fun because there's a lot of detail. Okay, so the beauty is I can see like everything from here. This is kind of how we present it to the judges don't see all of this. They just get that link. But anyway, so here's Cooper's link and it's going to take me to his project. So on the front page, in the guidelines, it tells you to have the category, the completion or the time frame, and the total project cost. So I love that he's done that. Okay. Project description. It was full home renovation. I love bullet points, bullet points, bullet points. I have one company who likes to do this really long narrative. It's like 2 pages. The judges can't even get through it because they're judging like 15 to 20 projects. I like this. They can blow this up a little bit and see the before and after floor plan. You could strip out some of the technical stuff here too, if you wanted to, just to make it to where you're just seeing the change in rooms. Again, here's a whole slide that the judges can't ignore on the client's wants and needs. Okay. So they've done a nice job of that, and lots of different beautiful pictures. Pictures, as you know, it's like worth 1,000 words. Then the functional improvements, aesthetic improvements. See how he's taken each of those judging questions and he has specifically answered them. So the judges have to give him points, you know? So I love the before and after, or so no, that's not a before, the before and after photos side by side, really nice and helpful. Aesthetic improvements again, I love it. Superior craftsmanship. He devoted a slide to exactly what the judging question is, and he showed these really nice tile work, mill work. I mean, just lovely. And then innovative materials and methods. He has covered all of those questions in a slide, okay? And then overcoming obstacles. It can be that simple. Take the judging question, figure out how to answer it. Bullet points. You could even, I've seen people like have a little caption and point to a specific area. You know, pictures of unique hidden features, etc. So that is a fun one. So let's see. Samantha, you're new to this, and Fiona, you're new to this. Does all of this resonate? Is it all making sense?
It is
It
for me.
does. Mhm.
Good, good,
I
good.
think with the nature of our work, some of it's less visual, so we don't really
Right.
have a lot of before and after shots
Right.
necessarily.
And
This is
that's
how
okay.
it sounds and operates, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm gonna look for, since you're in, well, I guess I shouldn't without permission, so I won't. Okay, let's go back here for a second. And where I come here for last year's program, I'm gonna do custom kitchens, okay? And let's look at maybe one more style of entries to see how they did it. Okay, so let's do an interior over 100. Okay, we'll go there. That's a fun category, I think. All right, and then again, I'm going to find that project. And there's that PDF. Again, this is all the judges see, so everything you want them to see has to be here. So again, that front slide has the cost, you know, the category and the price point, site history, lovely. Again, the drawings to help show kind of the design and everything. I love it. The powder room, again, this looks like a kitchen that it could also be broken out into just a kitchen category, but since it has the powder room, it's an interior. Is that where the powder room was? Wait, what is that? Anyway, so really just again showing some of the things they've done. Here's the kitchen. I think if I were giving any, oh my goodness, this is beautiful. The bar, if I like they've given the information here, but I might do kind of more what Cooper did and showcase that here, look at this craftsmanship and the detail and everything. Like I would really put those words in there from the judging question and then hone in on this here, because look at the detail that they've done in that bar. It's gorgeous. And aesthetics, like that, I would point out the aesthetics of this. I would put those key words in the presentation. Again, beautiful bookcase with a lot of nice millwork and detail. The shelving, you know, kind of the floating shelves, but with the centers in there. And then they've done a nice job here of getting to those obstacles. So I think if I had any advice, Jennifer, it'd be just kind of taking those keywords and plugging those in. Okay. But
Okay.
beautiful, beautiful projects. All right. Bullets, captions under pictures, before and after, side by side, before, drawings or renderings, or the before picture with the renderings of what it's gonna look like and can be included. I wouldn't add in progress pictures like in construction pictures unless you're showing the judges a challenge, an obstacle, or something unique in those pictures. Does that make sense? And I can't think, Debbie, can you think of anything that I'm missing?
I put in the chat, I believe what you want is the judge's scoring sheet versus
Yes.
instructions.
Yes, and so it was at the bottom. We
Yeah.
finally got smart, I think, and put it at the bottom. I forgot we did that.
Yeah.
So it's at the bottom of those rules and guidelines. So it's in one place for you.
Yeah.
All right. I can't think of anything else and I don't want to hold you up, but does anybody have any other questions?
I was curious, on average, I'm sure it varies. How many submissions do you typically see per company?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so in Central Virginia, our program really grew last year. We went from having 30 some entries in 22 to 55 in 23. There are some companies that only do one entry, like Lane Homes and Custom Kitchens. They did several last year. Cooper, do you remember how many you did?
I want to say 14.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The max is 15 and 2 per category, is that
I
correct?
think it's 3 entries
3
per category and a
category.
maximum of 15 entries.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that's a Central Virginia rule, Debbie. I think that might just be
That's the
DC.
Metro DC.
Yeah, in DC, because they have some companies who, you know, they do 400 projects a year, so they could just, you know, keep adding them in. I'd say on average 2 to 3 is the average number that companies do. But then you have the larger companies or the companies who really value the marketing impact of the awards program. And they enter like Cooper said, 10 or 14. Any other questions? You feeling good, Jennifer?
Yep,
Okay, good.
lots of good information. So
Okay.
thank you so much.
And you can have me on speed dial. I am
Okay.
here. Okay. How
Thank you.
about Fiona? How are you feeling? Good?
Good. Yeah, thank you.
All
As I
right.
said, we don't have as many photos just because the nature of our work's not as visual, but
Mhm.
feeling good.
I did
Yeah.
have one final question, a
Yeah.
lot of questions. If the client worked with a separate designer,
Mhm.
does a release need to be filled out for that? Do we need her approval?
We don't have a guideline for that. I would just I would just make sure they're aware. And if they are a pro member, you may consider adding them as a team member. If they're not a pro member, there's a question that did not appear on the form, and I'm going to make sure it gets in there. What other organizations participated? Maybe you're not adding them as a team partner, but they might want to join pro to become a team partner. So if you think that's a chance, I would encourage that, Samantha, because it's nice to, you know, that cross promotion, and it's just a feel good thing to show teamwork, you know.
Right, got it. Thank you.
Anything else? And Fiona, for you, you know, you could go back and even show like the technology, put that in there and explain kind of what you know, how it changed the livability of the home, or, you know, and then the aesthetic ways that you've kind of hidden that, you know, like maybe show the actual picture of the device that was installed and how you can't even see it. That's great. You know, we don't want to see it. We want it to work, but not be seen, you know, in some cases.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, any other questions? Perfect. All right. Thank you. I appreciate your interactive aspect of this because it just helps. But if you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out, okay?
Thank
Thank
right.
you.
Have
Have
a
a good
great
day.
Thank you.
Bye.